Bigfoot cooking.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bigfoot Cooking, where today we are making Bigfoot's Brunswick stew. Ooh, look at this. It's got everything you could want in a good hearty stew. I mean, after all, it's starting to cool off a little bit. The leaves are falling off the trees. It's getting to be soup and stew weather. And this, my friends, will fill that little empty spot in your tummy and maybe a little bit of that empty spot in your soul. You never can tell. Now, today's meal was actually inspired by a friend of mine, Abigail Stoms. She runs Elevate Deptford in New Jersey. It's a karate studio up there. And this girl, she could do some whooping on you. You gotta go check her out. I mean, she's 5th degree black belt. She does the Krav Maga. She probably does a couple of those things that I don't even know how to do. My body don't bend that way, but she can kick your butt before you know what happened and help you out. Check her out. In the meantime, let's get on with the cooking. What do we need for all this? Well, to do some Brunswick stew, it's kind of one of those, it's like refrigerator soup almost. There's a couple of consistencies, but you got to get the main stuff down. For today, we're doing 3 pounds of smoked Boston butt. This stuff was great. You want to know how to do it? There's a video on it. That stuff, you smoke it, you give it time, you get the flavor in it. Whoo, it makes you happy inside. So, but if you don't have that, if you want to do chicken, if you want to do ostrich, whatever works for you, that's about 3 pounds of some kind of meat will give you the basis for this stuff. From there, we're going to chop up a whole onion, use a half a stick of butter, 3 cloves of garlic, give it that good flavor going on. We're going to do 4 cups of broth. Now, if you want to know how to do a broth, we made a broth the other day that was absolutely amazing. Take the first half of the video, teaches you everything you need to know. 4 cups of broth, 2 cups of tomatoes, 2 cups of corn, 2 cans of veg oil. If you don't want to do the veg oil because of whatever, hey, change it up a little bit. Make this your recipe. I'm just kind of painting a little picture here. For seasoning it up a little bit, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 2 tablespoons of mustard, 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce, and a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Now, if you've got some other stuff you want to slam on the inside of it, go ahead. It's your stew. This is how I'm making mine. So first, let's get with shredding up the meat so that way it fits in the bowl. Oh, so easy. All right, now we're going to take our smoked Boston butt and we're going to plop it into the food processor. We're not trying to turn it into a paste, but what we are doing, we're going to take and kind of grind it up a little because these are larger pieces of deliciousness and we want them a little bit smaller. So time to do some chop, chop, fooey, fooey. And just a little bit of pulsing. And the magic has happened. Look at there, shredded beef. And we don't have to do this in steps because I got 3 pounds of it. I won't bore you with the details. We'll just show the final results. And there we have it. 3 shots of the gun. And take a look at here. We've got some awesomely shredded stuff. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to just mix this stuff until it becomes paste because then you're making hot dogs. Not what we're after. You're after that Brunswick stew with just a little bit of goo. So we got our meat settled. Let's go ahead and start working on the honey pot and making the deliciousness happen in here. Oh, let's get this pool party started. And by pool party, I mean, woo, we just got us a brand new cast iron pot. We're gonna put it to the test with this dish here. And we're gonna start out, we're gonna drop in our little stick of butter. I guarantee you it won't do nothing. I ain't got the thing lit. Hold on. All right, well, now that the fire has been induced, we'll give it a few minutes, let the butter melt. Once the butter's melted, let's add some more ingredients. All right, now that the butter has disappeared, and before it starts cooking up, let's add our onion. Now, your choice of onion, as far as color, you can use a Vidalia. We're using red because, well, that's what's in the pantry. Sometimes we cook with what's in the house. And while those are cooking up, we'll let these settle for just a minute. And then we're gonna add our fancy garlic. That's just garlic pressed right here in the pan. We'll just take and Plop a few of these specially delicious cloves in here and give them a big old push. I'm telling y'all, best garlic press ever. Round 2, because they kind of broke apart and I got a few extra little pieces here, but that's okay. It all cooks up oh so nicely. All right, garlic to the rescue. Now we're gonna let these guys sweat it out because, well, they are in a big old pot. So we're gonna let them sweat them out a little bit, loosen up, and get some more ingredients in it. You know, I've heard the term nothing bad happens on medium. Well, it does if you don't watch the pot. Now that we've taken our onions to the karate studio and had them sweat it out a little bit, it's time for a little bit of tomato in there. These were right out the garden this year. Mama canned them up, and it is time to serve them up. Got a happy little mix on them. Oh, let's add the meat. I tell you what, I barely got it to fit back in this thing. There's a whole lot of here. But look at the consistency. This food processor, it did it justice. Look at that. Smoky flavor and wonderful. Ooh, and kind of hot on the edge. I'm gonna have to get me a little hot mitt. Now we got a little stir on that. Let's juice it up a little. We're gonna pour this until we get it nice and covered. What we got? Oh, it's gonna take every bit of it, but that's okay. We want that flavor, don't we? We want that stock to sit in there. Whether it's chicken stock, beef stock, bone broth, or veg-all. Speaking of veg-all, hold on, I got a little bit of that. Into the pot, my friend. Oh, pot's starting to fill up, ain't it? Good. It's gonna taste great later on. A little more corn, yep. Some more garden special. I took that out of the freezer. And it's gonna melt up nice in here. Yes, it is. Now, while we might have a pot right here of pure gold deliciousness, it ain't gonna get that way without the seasons. We're gonna add a little barbecue sauce. Sweet or tangy? Well, that's up to you. But just roll that right on in there. Mix it right to the bottom. Now, when you grab the mustard, I don't know if you want somebody to pass you the Grey Poupon, or whether you want them just to give you some traditional yellow mustard. Again, what are your taste buds craving? What are you desiring in your Brunswick stew? Some magic Worcestershire. Lord, how do y'all say it in Jersey? Worcestershire? I don't know. Worcestershire sauce. And the double whammy, salt and pepper, both barrels. Now, while the looks and smells of this are quite delicious, the tomatoes, I think, got swallowed up by all that good old Boston butt. So I'm gonna grab me another can and open this guy up. Woo! Fresh tomatoes to the rescue. We're gonna stir them in rather nicely. Now that everybody is in the hot tub and things are looking oh so well, we took a little sample real quick. We decided, you know, a little more barbecue sauce wouldn't hurt. So we gave it another big old squizzle in there just for flavor. And what we're gonna do now, we're gonna let it sit on the heat for about an hour, hour and a half. Let all them flavors marry, get together, and get happy. And we'll check back on it then. Stand by. No, don't stand by. I got a story for the middle of this. Hold on, let me get the story time. So the other day, a buddy of mine, when he got to his house, right, he pulls up, throws it up in park, and before he could get out of the car, look at what he saw right there on his porch, sneaking down the steps like he owned the place. A Bigfoot. What happened next? Oh, I think the Bigfoot saw him too. All of a sudden, Bigfoot got running after him. Man, I tell you what, it's a good thing he knew karate, because he jumped out and he scared that Bigfoot away. If it wasn't for that, who knows what would have happened. But more proof that Bigfoot is real. I mean, we're seeing it in the cameras. This guy caught, like I said, he was in his car, caught it on his dash cam. Those things are really handy. They might save your butt one day. Speaking of saving your butt, how about you save mine? work them magic punches and hit that subscribe down there. Keeps me cooking, keeps the stories coming, and keeps your belly full. So let's see how our stuff is doing. Now about halfway through, we couldn't stop the boil, so we had to move it back to the little burner. You ever notice how this is always your favorite burner, the right front? No matter what, no matter where, no matter what country, it seems like this is the burner to use. But we slid it to the back, and let's peek at what we got. Ooh, look at that beautiful stew. Oh, let's put a little stir in it and see what we got. Oh yeah, everything is coming together. Oh, so beautifully. But as you can tell, we're still a little runny. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna leave it on that back burner and we're gonna tilt the lid a little. Now you can either tilt the lid just by putting it at an angle, or you can set it on and stick the spoon in it. And that way you create a little air gap for some of the water to come out. Or if you're really bold and daring, you just leave the whole lid off of it. We're gonna leave it like this, let it sit here another maybe 30 minutes and simmer and kind of burp off a little bit of steam, and let's check back on it then, shall we? So we've set ourselves up for about another hour of simmering to get this thing perfect. We'll go ahead and kick it off the gas and let's take a look at what we got here. Oh, tell me that right there is not just saying, oh, food. Oh yeah, let's go ahead and ladle some of this stuff out, put it in a bowl and get to some eating. Let's partake in a little bit of our hard work, shall we? Oh man. This is how stew should be. This is thick, this is right, and this is righteous. So Abby, this is what you're supposed to make when you make Brunswick stew. Oh yeah. And you know, it's kind of funny how out of the blue a little cornbread popped up. Don't know how that happened. Sometimes a little TV magic. Sometimes, you know, you just get hungry in the middle of cooking something else. So, and of course you got to crumble it in. Got to make it just right. This is one of them good hearty meals that will warm your belly up when it's cold outside. I mean, just look, a little bit of everything mixed in plus the cornbread. Y'all know it's hot. Y'all can see it steaming. You know I want to eat it, but I just don't want to hurt my tongue taking a bite. Oh yeah, this is gonna make a happy tummy here when it's cold. Happy indeed. You could even add a little hot sauce to it to give it a little kick, or you can know at the end of the day that Bigfoot is real. And this is real good. Thank you, Abby. I found a serving spoon my size. Oh yeah, come to Papa. Now I will say this too, if you want to add a little oompa to it, Nate's Hot Honey is some hallelujah sauce, a little kicker in the canker. Ooh, this sets it off just nice. Just saying, again, make this your recipe. I just made it mine and mine.